Hello, Renton High staff. Today, our students have prepared a video for you. We will be discussing the difference between intent versus impact.
You may be wondering, what is intent versus impact? Intent is what you thought you were doing, and impact is how others perceived it.
It's a very important skill to have to be able to differentiate the two. Even with the best intentions, your consequences and how your actions are perceived may have a far different effect.
Let's take a look at some examples students created.
Did you guys watch that new U5 show? Run back there.
Why they never pay attention?
What did you do that for?
Getting to sleep on my class and not waste my time or your time.
The teacher's intent was to wake the student up and have them engage in class and maybe set an example to the class of not sleeping. But the impact was to scare the student and make the student uncomfortable and feel embarrassed and called out. The better way to approach this would be to either leave the student alone and talk to them privately after class, or quietly wake them up while the rest of the class is working independently.
So today we will be learning about how dogs are not cats. Why? Because dogs say run. Oh, so you decided to show up today? Hurry up and take a seat. If you don't want to learn, you can leave. The door's that way. You do you. Anyways, as I was interrupted today we'll be learning about how dogs. Anyways, as I was being interrupted, today we'll be learning about how dogs are not cats.
The teacher's intent was to motivate the student and to get them to show up on time to class, but the impact was embarrassing the student and potentially making them feel unwanted, and perhaps not want to come to class in the future. A more positive way to approach this situation would be to warmly greet the student so that they feel welcomed and invited, and then have a conversation later if it's necessary. Have a private conversation later with the student, asking them how you might want to help support getting them to class on time.
Decorating. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going over here? Getting everything done? Yeah. Love your necklace.
Okay.
I love this jacket. It's good on you. Oh my gosh, is this your natural hair? It must be so heavy. So unique.
The teacher's intent was to compliment and create a connection with the student, and maybe even show curiosity and interest in the student's style or culture. But the impact was to make the student feel self-conscious and anxious about their personal boundaries being crossed. And this could even be considered a microaggression. A better way to approach this would be to respect the student's personal space and not touch their hair. Also, keep the compliments simple without asking uncomfortable questions.
All right, so can anybody tell me what the answer to number 3 on the worksheet is? Yes. I'd like to hear from Trishani.
Huh?
Do you know the answer to number 3?
No.
Anybody else? Shirley?
42.
Yes, correct. See, you need to be more like Shirley. All right, next page, guys.
The teacher's intent was to either motivate the student or set an example to the student so that they would pay attention. The impact, however, made the student uncomfortable and show favoritism towards specific students. A better way to approach this would be to give the student assistance outside of the classroom, or not have any biases to any students at all.
Good morning.
Hey, Shirley, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh my God, it's so good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yes, okay, go take a seat.
Okay.
Hey, good morning.
Morning, Trishani.
I have good news. I just got accepted to Harvard.
Congratulations! What's wrong? I hug Shirley all the time.
The teacher's intent was to congratulate the student and make the student feel validated. The impact, however, was an uncomfortable situation where the teacher was infringing on the student's boundaries. A better way to approach the situation would have been to ask the student if a hug was okay or maintain personal space.
Now, while some of those sketches were funny, they were genuine everyday examples of intent versus impact.
It is even more important to keep this in mind in a classroom environment.
Your lighthearted comments may not have gotten the reaction you were hoping for.
I understand that your heart may have been in the right place, but arguing with someone over a problem does not help. If you want to solve an issue, you should listen to their feelings and not invalidate them.
Hi, I'm Hibo. I'm a senior.
All right, describe a classroom that makes you feel like you belong. What does it look like and what does it sound like?
A classroom that makes me feel like I belong is a classroom where I could freely express my thoughts and my opinions, obviously with regards to other people and respecting their boundaries, where the teacher holds themselves accountable and checks themselves for their actions, where the student and teacher relationship is obviously developed and we're treated like adults and we respect each other's boundaries.
Hi, I'm Avery and I'm a senior.
What do boundaries look like to you?
Boundaries, for me, it means just not like digging into my personal business. Like, I'm allowed to tell you things, but don't ask me things. And I think like, I don't know, not like making comments that are about my personal life if I'm not talking to you about it.
Hi, I'm Kendall. I'm in 10th grade. A teacher could help me grow as a learner by explaining stuff the right way and probably one-on-one conversation with me rather than talking to me like I'm in the whole class, because that's how I understand better.
My name is Kimberly Gary. I'm a senior. Something that I need to grow as a learner is just a welcoming environment and just feeling welcomed by everybody and knowing that like no matter what I say, I won't be judged or I won't be criticized.
A class that makes me feel like I belong is a class that honors my opinion and makes me feel like what I have to say is important just like everyone else in the class.
I'm Yajani Watson and I am in the 9th grade. What a teacher does that helps me grow is explain to me what is going on in class. Like, if you're not explaining to me what's going on in class, then I will not understand.
Hello, my name is Kevin Davis. I'm a senior here at Renton High School and I'm going to be answering a couple questions. What does a teacher do that helps you grow as a learner? Some things teachers can do is to help you grow as learners, ask you questions, making sure you're prepared, and always having a positive attitude towards your students.
My name is Natea and I'm a freshman. What does a teacher do that helps you grow as a learner? Motivate me, encourage me to do everything.
My name is Lacey Augustino and I'm a senior in 12th grade.
What does intent versus impact mean to you?
Intent could be something like you're trying to help somebody out, but impact could be how it really affected somebody. Of course, everybody could have good intentions when they're doing something, but the impact could turn out to be bad.
And how is that translated in a classroom environment? Like, have you personally been affected by these issues here at Renton?
I think teachers mainly, sometimes they have good intentions towards their students, but their impact just doesn't work as successfully, or students towards other students. Like, generally nobody's ever trying to like affect you negatively, but it doesn't always work out that way.
And how would you recommend that these teachers solve this issue?
I think communicate with their students more and kind of get to know them better. I know COVID impacted that ability a lot, but I think over this year, teachers were more distant with their students, and I feel like everybody could work on that.
As you can see, these are issues that Renton High students face regularly and have many different opinions on.
It is important as teachers to focus on student emotions and be intentional with solving conflict by focusing on the issue.
And I want to conclude that we are all here to improve Renton High. And to do that, we need your trust and cooperation.
This is only the first step in a long process of understanding. We hope that you took away something from this video and are now willing to better Renton High School. Thank you for listening and willing to be part of the solution.